In the sky, Liu Cam rode the star spirit dragon, ice cold as he ordered the skill Heavenly Star Annihilation, a 17 million power blast turning the sky into a sea of stars. The meteor rain fell boom, engulfing Long Manor in flames. Long Xing vanished without a scream. Landing on the ashes, Liu Pam frowned. One move from the star spirit wiped it all. Terrifying. He found a glowing chest matching his treasure map. Opening it, notifications appeared. Will of the Fallen Dragon Warrior, Golden Dragon King set fragment, and gloves granting 150 strength in dragon form. Next came the skill book Infernal Dragon's Fury, letting dragon-bloated units enter berserk mode. The chest also held rare upgrade scrolls, pet bond charms, summon zone expanders, and the skill Shadow Assault. Liu Fame grinned. Perfect. I needed more pet space, and this enchant scroll buffs Black Blade nicely. Gathering the loot, he murmured, got everything. Time to meet senior sister. Back at the Huang estate, Liu Pam froze. The once-a-grand mansion was now ruins. A middle-aged man ran out. It was Huang Yinging, the old steward, kneeling and begging to serve Yi Wuxian, who eyed him warily. Can I trust you? Huang Yinging swore an oath. The Huang clan is dead. I've nowhere else to go. He'll serve the Yi clan till death. Liu Pam appeared behind him, voice icy. Remember your words betray the Yi clan, and it'll make you wish for death. Trembling, Huang Yinging kowtowed. Overjoyed, Dragon Tamer Liu Cam, you've returned. Liu Fam whispered to Yi Wuxian. Hesjus Logistics knows this area well. Harmless. Keep him for now. She nodded. Huang Yinging nearly cried with relief. Rest assured, if you say go east, I won't dare step west. Liu Fam waved. Get to work. Yi Wuxian asked. And the Long clan? He nodded. Calmly handled. Yi Wuxian handed him thick files. You'll manage 3 houses if you win. I'll redistribute all their resources to you. Liu Fam smiled. I accept your goodwill. Then he added, but I'm not after power. I'm here to help you, not to rule. Yi Wuxian smiled gently. Fine. I'll manage them for now. You can reclaim them anytime. She opened another file. Here's intel on secret realms and rare resources. Pick one. Liu Fam's gaze fixed on Feishan Ancient Temple, matching his map. I want to go there. She blinked. Feishan Ancient Temple. The next day at Feishan Ancient Temple, Yi Wuxian asked, you sure about this? She warned, you can only enter once, whether level 40 or 90. You only gain 1 rank. Liu Fam stood firm. When fate knocks, I answer. Skipping it would keep me up all night. At the temple gate, Liu Fam stepped into the mossy shrine, eyes gleaming. He cheered. Got it! Right where the map said. A light flared as he clasped his hands in prayer. Please, grant me a dragon egg. Wish granted. A dark purple egg exuding faint poison appeared. He gasped. Amazing! It's been ages since I've seen one! Notification: toxic dragon egg, rank unknown. Bowing to the statue, he said, Thank you, Elder. I'll send the Huang clan to restore this shrine. Beside the egg, he found an old notebook and explorer's rare grade journal. Opening it, he muttered, Dragon Nation, May 30, 1989. The author met a great dragon at Qilong Valley. It told a tragic tale. An expedition team met the devourer demon dragon in the abyss of Qilong Valley. Even wounded, the dragon annihilated the team. Only the author survived, poisoned and near death. Reading this, Liu Pam realized it was the same devourer dragon, once called the Abyssal Maw, connecting the dots instantly. He recalled a hidden quest at Flying Dragon Garden, to use the divine dragon tree seeds soaked in the devourer's blood to heal the sacred tree. Closing the journal, his eyes lit up. Back then I was weak, and skipped it. Now that quest's child's play. Luckily, had obtained summon expansion scrolls from Long Manor. This time, he could tame dragon beasts directly. Thinking so, he decided to hatch the toxic dragon egg. Alright, time to meet our new teammate! Summoning all dragon pets, he announced, Come greet your new partner, Little Poison Dragon! Chanting dragon speech, he wrapped the egg in light cracks spread across its shell. Poison mist leaked out, making Xiao Ye pale and step back fast. Meanwhile, Liu Pam imagined Yi Wuxian probably as nervous as he was. Checking stats, he saw the skill origin of 10,000 poisons absorbs and converts nether toxins, creating ever-growing poison fog with immortality and Revivian Fatalit. He gawked. This skill's broken? Yet, despite its absurd power, the hatchling was timid, squeaking and hiding behind a pillar when a bok approached. Liu Pam laughed. A dragon like this is rare. Let's call you Xiaoji. Fits perfectly. He fed it eggshell for nutrients and told Xiaofei, Take care of Xiaoji. It's as shy as you were when born. Gazing afar, he planned, Qilong Valley's full of toxins. 3 days from now, Xiaoji's first battle. Time flew. 3 temple days leveled him up and unlocked weapon mastery, increasing sword accuracy and canceling evasion. Xiaoji, being low level, rose fast to 13, learning Nether Guard. Unlike others, Xiaoji was timid and insecure but had unmatched evasion instincts. With the box training and Liu Fam's patience, it opened up, bonding with the team. Nether Guard let it spawn self-detonating poison sentries, turning the battlefield into a death mist. When the research ended, so did the 3 days. Returning to reality, Liu Pam showed the tiny creature to Yi Wuxian, who squealed, Liu Fam, what is that? It's adorable! Suddenly, Yi Wuxian leaned closer, teasing Xiaoji, wanting to poke it like a soft jelly. But as her finger neared, Xiaoji bent and slipped away, body softening to dodge the touch. Liu Pam scratched his head awkwardly, deciding to put it down. Xiaoji was oddly terrified of strangers. To ease the awkwardness, he whispered something. Ye Wuxian straightened, remembering she had news to share. She sighed, regaining her stern principled demeanor before him. She mentioned the upcoming final exam. Principal Zhang Shengming announced, eyes firm, no skipping allowed, making him chuckle. Time flowed. Lu Pam gazed at Ye Wuxian with nostalgia, recalling when she first recruited him like it was yesterday. She smiled briefly, noticing he was still buried in work, but the air turned heavy when he suddenly asked about Dragon Valley before exams. Startled, Ye Wuxian asked why he met her gaze, and she nodded sadly, admitting her grandfather's death was tied to the Dragon Valley Lord. Her mind flashed back to half a year ago, when her grandfather discovered the empty ground at the bottom of Qilong Valley. He led 3 Tier 4 experts across the western frontier, intending to claim it for the Yi clan. But it was a deadly forbidden zone, guarded by a boss so strong even an elite squad couldn't win. He had to retreat, planning to regroup and return stronger. Yet he was struck by a rare toxin. Healers failed, and during Huang and Long's invasion, he held her hand, describing the roar from the valley's depths. His dying wish one day, Qilong Valley would belong to the Yi clan. Ye Wuxian then asked why Lu Pam wanted to go there. He quietly replied he'd accepted a rare assassination quest to slay a dragon king. Shocked, she exclaimed about killing a dragon king. He calmly said danger was constant, but now he had enough trump cards. Looking at her hopefully, he asked for support. She instantly agreed, eagerly preparing to depart the next day. Suddenly, the Huang estate ruins quaked violently. A giant hand crushed the guards on the spot. A booming voice echoed. Mountain Breaker appeared, and Huang soldiers panicked, realizing their clan's power was gone. Above the monster stood a haughty young man, arrogance radiating, rank unknown but power overwhelming. Hearing the commotion, workers rushed in, terrified, realizing this area now belonged to the Yi clan, and fled at once. Quickly, the Ning lieutenant recognized the guards' uniforms. They whispered in fear they were facing a Ning clan noble, meaning certain death. Ning Duo frowned and ordered, no tribute shortfalls whether Huang or Ye, pay in full. Then he drew a strange bell, shook it lightly. Kneeling general, obey, as burning eyes charged inward. The creature smashed everything. Stone shattered, guards flew like dolls, the main gate crumbled instantly. Screams echoed everywhere. Chaos erupted as people fled in terror. Stepping through the ruins, Ning Duo smiled chillingly, each step followed by cries. None escaped his grasp. Inside, old steward Huang Ying froze at the uproar, baffled by the sudden violence. Suddenly, a guard's corpse fell before Huang Ying. Panicked, he screamed and ran. He realized the attacker was Ning Duo. Despair flooded him. There was no time to warn the Yi clan. Meanwhile, in the forest, Lu Pam studied his map and saw Dragon Valley remained unexplored, per Ye Wuxian's coordinates. Before him stretched a gloomy scene, the level 90 zone untouched, teeming with danger. He set down his heavy pack, recalling Ye Wuxian's meticulous care the day before. In memory, she had carefully packed gear, supplies, and food per her grandfather's notes. Had awkwardly waved off her fussing. But she had shaken her head sternly, insisting preparation was vital to survive the Dragon Valley Lord. He could only apologize. Shed smiled calmly, saying she wouldn't join him. Someone had to manage the Long and Huang matters. Retreat wasn't an option. So he nodded resolutely, determined to depart at once, reminding her to stay cautious of the valley. Then at Huang Manor, a servant rushed in. Miss, the Huang clan has transferred a high-rank secret realm here. Ye Wuxian immediately organized resources, ordering her team to head for the Geocore limestone cave and assist Huang Yining, the cowardly steward. Meanwhile, Ning Duo lounged in a chair, smirking at the report. She was now leader of 3 houses, yet still mining personally. He laughed aloud, amused. A clan head digging ore herself while letting a former enemy run logistics. As a servant served tea, Ning Duo's eyes gleamed warily. At least they still knew etiquette. He decided to wait a few days, letting her finish mining the core before collecting tribute, and perhaps meeting this intriguing clan head over tea. At Qilong Valley's entrance, Lu Pam rummaged for an LED lamp, ready to light the depths. Just then, tiny Xiaoji poked her head out, chirping happily. He patted her gently, telling her to stay calm in the pack. Her toxin immunity would soon prove handy in dragon combat. Facing the murky swamp, he signaled Xiao Ye and Abak to clear the path. Instantly, the 2 dragons surged ahead, shredding anything in their way. He mused that if Xiaoji had been his first dragon, he might doubted the species' supremacy. Mid-flight, Abak halted, sensing danger ahead. A swarm of level 85 venomous slimes. Data flash. Skill 1 adhesive spit, 50 defense. Skill 2 rotting slime, 70 attack, drains 2 HP per second. Frowning, he analyzed no big toxic brain type detected, then grinned at his pack. Xiaoji, your turn to shine. But veterans Xiao Ye and Abak were blood-fired, competing to massacre the monsters. He quickly ordered, leave one alive, kill the rest. The dragons went full blender mode in seconds. Only 1 slime remained. As Abak readied a finishing blow, Lu Pam shouted to stop. No need for that one. Too late. Xiao Yi stomped the poor slime's head. Lu Pam face-palmed in defeat. At last, the 2 dragged back a lone slime toy top. He bonked their heads, reminding them to spare strong mobs, then told Xiaoji to absorb the toxin. Cautiously, Xiaoji crept toward the trembling slime. In the slime's eyes, Xiaoji looked like a devouring demon, pure annihilation approaching. Seeing the trembling prey, Lu Pam encouraged Xiaoji, eager to witness her power. After absorbing the toxin, Xiaoji's strength visibly surged. He urged her on. The Dragon Clan fears nothing, everyone's watching. Xiaoji gathered courage and charged. She lunged, claws flaring, body swelling before swallowing the slime whole. Lu Fam Gok Shed absorbed the poison by literally eating it. Xiaoji glowed as she digested system prompt toxin absorbed conversion ability unlocked. Toxic Dragon leveled up to 14 current venom reduced enemy defense by 50 for 10 seconds. Overjoyed, Lu Fam hugged her, praising the clever little dragon for leveling through toxin absorption. He imagined her future one day rivaling sister and brother dragons, looking down on all creatures. Xiaoji beamed with joy, heart blooming with pride. 2 hours later, at Qilong Valley's outer rim, Lu Pam watched Xiaoji absorb toxins from a demon firefly leg, gaining rot, burn, and paralysis venoms. With help, or rather, bullying from Abok, Xiaoji fought nonstop and kept leveling. In a flash, she reached level 15, unlocking a new form Toxic Marsh, creating an O field with constant damage and counter effects. Lu Pam marveled her form differed from Abok's. She became a green swamp, striking in mass attacks. Just then, Abok's loud laugh echoed. Turning, Lu Pam saw Abok smacking a glowing mushroom clearly poisonous. He cited Abok's recklessness but was even more shocked by Xiaoji next. She crawled up, mouth wide, and swallowed the whole toxic mushroom, startling him. Xiaoji closed her eyes, savoring it like a gourmet meal. Her body suddenly glowed brilliantly like a living lantern. Lu Pam laughed and cried, "Glowshroom toxin absorbed." Now Xiaoji could light up the cavern. Thanks to her glow, the team spotted a horde of grotesque meteor rot bugs, level 88. Thousands strong, they wielded corpse adhesive and meal, sapping attributes on contact. Lu Fam prepared to order a burn strike, but Xiaoji dashed forward first. Had she planned this? Her body liquefied into a green toxic marsh, engulfing the swarm and unleashing a storm of blindness and paralysis poisons. The insects melted and exploded, triggering a massive chain reaction. Excited, Lu Fam praised her brilliance. "That's how you wipe the floor with bugs." He, Xiaoye, and Abok cleaned up the aftermath. Lu Pam fired a shadow serpent arrow, blasting the remains. As the battle ended, Xiaoji absorbed a new toxin, causing meteor rot bug stats to drop by 1 level. Lu Fam nodded in awe. Xiaoji's adaptation to her new form was beyond expectations. The deeper they went, the gloom thickened. Lu Cam slashed through the dense underbrush with his sword. He stopped at a huge cave, flicked on his lamp, warning Xiaoye to stay alert. Suddenly, the surrounding roots moved, slick like giant snakes. Xiaoye roared in alarm. Lu Pam realized they weren't plants but monster tentacles. Flames erupted, and the roots dragged the whole team deeper into the cavern's maw. Xiaoye breathed fire, scorching the roots. They recoiled, and the team pursued to the canyon's depths. Before them loomed a colossal plant monster, body twisted with thorny vines. This was the 10,000 Venoms Demon Vine, level 100 boss skills: Vine Control, Eye Domination, spawning countless poisons, immortality, and infinite regeneration. Boss attacked with full force. Lu Cam realized he'd need maximum firepower to counter. The battle erupted violently. Xiaofei deployed mobile shields, and Long Yu assisted. Xiaoye became a destructive dragon gate, scorching the battlefield with molten lava bursts. Abok struck with thunder, burning dragons and haunting dragon kings, repeatedly hitting weak points. The giant tree was smashed, but its demonic immortality let it rapidly regrow vines. Lu Cam frowned, wondering if the monster could grow infinitely. He realized level 100 skills were deadly. Anyone with infinite regen would be terrifying. At that moment, Xiaoji charged the giant boss again. Lu Pam shouted worriedly, "Xiaoji, come back!" But she transformed into a marsh, engulfing the boss roots, combining rot poison and debuffs from Long Yu, nearly nullifying the boss regen. Lu Pam ordered, "Turn on the Figlo light to support Xiaoji!" Instantly, Xiaoji began absorbing the boss. 15 minutes later, the level 100 boss was fully digested, toxins and demon vine extracted. Overjoyed, Lu Fam lifted Xiaoji, cheering her success. Shed absorbed a level 100 boss toxins. He immediately recognized her talent. She could even handle the dragon kings they sought to slay. After defeating the demon vine, the journey became easier. Xiaoji grew braver, fought continuously, leveled to 30, unlocking Toxic Cloud Shift. They then faced a sheer cliff. The dark abyss below marked the canyon's end. Lu Pam ordered preparations. All were ready to descend. Black Blade activated stealth. Xiaofei was thrilled, and the team leapt into the abyss. At the bottom appeared a green toxic lake, bubbling ominously in a deathly silence. Lu Pam stayed alert, noting it resembled Xiaoji's nether marsh form, yet no monsters guarded it. Suddenly, a massive toxic shadow surged from the water, exploding beside Lu Fam. The potent poison pierced Xiaofei's shield, reducing blessing counts. Lu Fam was shocked. He ordered Xiaoye to scan the area with her senses, detecting a huge creature lurking beneath the lake. Instantly, poison globes shot up like fireworks, raining down in a deadly acid shower. Lu Pam commanded loudly, "Fly high to avoid the toxins!" He peered into the water, eyes cold, suspecting this hidden creature could see through black blade. He feared it might be a dragon king. Poison seeped in though Xiaoji resisted. Lu Pame felt the burn, determined to strike quickly. He drew his yangbo, gathering arrows ready to unleash. Suddenly, a mocking voice echoed from the lake, playful, as if teasing a dragon tamer. Lu Pame looked around warily. The voice continued, calling humans insignificant, ignoring mental communication, forcing him to focus on the water. The hidden creature laughed, revealing it had long known humans were born to slay dragons. Turns out it was true. It mocked humans, questioning where the newborn dragon at his side came from. Lu Fan firmly denies involvement, holding the bow tight, insisting the creature isn't his concern. Instantly, he releases the arrow, plunging straight into the water. The creature is the devouring demon dragon king. It must be forced to reveal its true form. The arrow slices the air, but a giant toxic water column erupts, flinging it back. From the murky water, a massive shadow rises, blocking the light. Devouring demon dragon king appears, eyes mocking Lu Fan. Lu Fan raises his weapon, shouting a challenge at the dragon king, ordering his team to attack. Immediately, the dragon beasts unleash their full power, combining elements into an energy storm aimed at the dragon king. The creature just laughs, dismissing all attacks. It opens its mouth, spewing fire, wind, and lightning, effortlessly shredding the assault, paralyzing the team instantly. Lu Fan panics, realizing a creature can wield 4 elements at once. It's extremely dangerous. The devouring demon dragon king roars, suffocating the team, yelling at the dragon clan to die. At the same moment, a dark energy orb forms in its mouth, shooting straight at Lu Fan. Xiao Pai quickly uses Eternal Guard, but the light shield shatters instantly. Lu Fan activates the golden dragon shield equipment, partially transforming into a dragon to withstand the backlash. Drenched in cold sweat, unable to defend forever, he decides to go all out, preparing 17 million heavenly stars to annihilate the world. His dragon spirit immediately takes a divine form, gathering star-level energy. Lu Fan triggers dragon language resonance, doubling his strike, using countless spirits' power to send the Dragon King into oblivion. The massive energy orb descends, but the Dragon King remains calm, unharmed. A golden shield manifests, completely blocking the destructive strike. Lu Fan is stunned. The Supreme Shield can wield the Golden Dragon King's skills. The devouring demon Dragon King scoffs. Human's power is admirable, but struggling against him is pointless. It reveals it has claimed 13 great dragons, including the Dragon King, taking their dragon blood as treasure. Immediately, the air drops to absolute zero, and the frozen Dragon King emerges, enraged. Lu Fan's team is frozen. Even breaking free through resistance drains them, showing the Dragon King's power far surpasses theirs. In this dire moment, Lu Fan places his trust in the most unexpected factor, Xiao Qi. Xiao Qi understands, rushing forward to use new poison absorbed from the 10,000 venom demon vine. Poison seeds planted in the Dragon King instantly sprout into thorny vines, binding it tightly. The Dragon King struggles, breaking the vines, amused by young Xiao Qi, intrigued by the vine trick. But then it activates energy restoration. A black hole maze appears, sucking all matter and energy around to crush. Lu Fan panics, realizing it cannot be allowed to keep draining energy. Hen orders Xiao Pai to deploy Dragon Domain immediately. Dragon Domain explodes, combined with Pai Shui's energy suction, creating a maximally enhanced zone for the Dragon King. Lu Fan raises Eternal Guard, using his body as a shield against the tremendous suction, protecting his team. Watching the water shield crack, Lu Fan screams the power is too great to endure. All dragon beasts pour full strength. Xiao Ye and Abo shift into destructive forms, spirits maxed, unleashing supreme skills to finally break the supreme shield. The massive body of the devouring demon Dragon King crashes into the toxic lake. Lu Fan pants, nearly exhausted. The Dragon King has truly vanished. Instantly, the lake glows, hitting Lu Fan's back, worsening his wounds. Ironically, Lu Fan still stands, furious, unsure when he can escape. Suddenly, the water parts, revealing a seductive woman, the human form of the Dragon King. She sneers, challenging Lu Fan to bargain, as all his dragon beasts weaken. Lu Fan observes coldly, realizing she's just stalling to strike him later. Immediately, he activates the ultimate skill from Andre's book of 10,000 Dragons' Wrath. All dragon beasts merge with Lu Fan, transforming him into the 10,000 Dragon King, his breath shaking space. At the peak, Lu Fan raises his hand, condensing a destructive strike, commanding the Dragon King to die. The Dragon King panics, promising to erase all grudges to escape. Lu Fan remains resolute, giving her no chance, his lineage power radiating continuously. She hurriedly adds a condition, swearing not to usurp Lu Fan's summoning slots. She emphasizes that if he dies, she dies too under the pact. Lu Fan retracts his power, returning to human form, but stays cautious, suspecting a hidden trick. The Dragon King smiles wryly, claiming her loss is due to injuries and the pact will help her heal faster. Lu Fan nods, agreeing to a mutually beneficial cooperation, but sets 3 strict conditions, warning of consequences if ignored. The Dragon King reluctantly complies, asking what the 3 conditions are. Lu Fan requests a toxic lake to prepare for the small dragon rescue. Next, he wants a drop of Dragon King blood to anoint seeds to save the Fee Dragon Divine Tree. She agrees happily. For the last condition, Lu Fan demands the exact locations of the lineage treasures she once stole. After the deal, the Dragon King approaches, appearing tired and wanting to rest in his space. She smiles mysteriously, intending to enter Lu Fan's Dragon Beast space for a break. In a flash, she transforms into light, entering Lu Fan, leaving a playful note that danger still awaits. Lu Fan sighs, checking the updated quest board. Phi Dragon Divine Tree awaits rescue, bloodthirsty. He turns to Xiao Qi, instructing her to absorb the lake poison quickly, assuring her not to worry since the Dragon King is gone. Immediately after, with the Dragon King gone, Lu Fan checks Xiao Qi's readiness for the mission. The small dragon inflates and drains the millennium-old toxic lake. Xiao Qi burps in satisfaction. Lu Fan marvels at the cleanliness. Before celebrating, Lu Fan, exhausted from battle, feels dizzy, realizing flying back by himself is too tiring. So he summons his dragon spirit, ordering the void rift to open for safe retreat. Instantly, the dragon spirit tears through the void, ripping space open for instant travel. The teleport gate lasts 60 seconds, ignoring all restrictions. Lu Fan calls Xiao Qi to follow for digestion. Surprisingly, looking back, Xiao Qi swallowed the entire toxic lake in a blink, boosting 17 levels via Dragon King's poison, reaching level 47 with new skills. Lu Fan rejoices, leading all dragon beasts through the gate, appearing next morning in the tense old Hongfu Hall. There, an arrogant youth gorges food at the chair. Ning Du, son of the Ning family, level 103, a non-random master. Ironically, Ning Tu gets annoyed and flings food at Huang Yinging, yelling for him to stop pacing around. Huang Yinging trembles and apologizes, worried Missy isn't back yet, but Ning Tu just sneers, totally unconcerned. Right then, the giant puppet beside him lifts its head, sensing a strange aura approaching. Ning Tu smirks, saying there's no need to wait. Miss Ye from your family already went out. At the same time, at the core mine, Ye Wuxian emerges from the depths, panting after days of non-stop mining. She checks her storage bag, confirms 1057 cores collected, refuses help, and walks on her own. Suddenly, Ye Wuxian looks up and vaguely sees a figure in the sky, thinking it's just exhaustion-induced hallucination. In a flash, before she can react, a terrifying punch slams down from above. Rocks explode, miners are blasted away, and Ning Tu lands with the puppet Ye Meng, radiating crushing pressure. Ye Wuxian is instantly restrained and asks in shock who these people are. Ning Tu laughs arrogantly, introducing himself as the Ning family's young lord, the one who turned the Zhuang patriarch into a puppet, saying his waited days for her. Ye Wuxian immediately senses danger, guessing this is a Bingqier noble family taking revenge for the royal clan. Just then, Huang Yinging rushes over, kneeling and begging for mercy, promising to hand over all cores to keep her safe. But Ning Tu steps closer to Ye Wuxian, coldly ordering her to surrender every core she has. He threatens that the Huang family must kneel like dogs, or with a flick of his hand, the Ye family will vanish from the Western realm. Huang Yinging kowtows desperately, urging Miss Yi to stay rational to avoid death. Yet Ye Wuxian, though exhausted, stays defiant, coldly stating Ye family property has no reason to be handed over. Ning Tu's face darkens as he signals the puppet to slam her into the ground. Mockingly, he says she's rejected him, and anyone who defies him never ends well. At the peak, Ning Tu gives the kill order, since so, let her die here. Instantly, the puppet Ya Meng swings its arm, hurling Ye Wuxian straight into the cliff. He shakes his control bell, sending the ghost general charging in to crush her on the spot. Ye Wuxian struggles to counterattack, activating fire runes, but all strikes are useless against a level 100 puppet's armor. Ning Tu grins cruelly, mocking her spirit as proof has already been too merciful. Instead, he issues a brutal order: break her legs first to vent his anger. Just as the giant fist is about to fall, a black shadow flashes by, slicing off the puppet's arm, which crashes to the ground. Startled, Ning Tu shouts angrily, demanding to know who dares interfere. Right then, Lu Fan appears, helping Ye Wuxian up and calmly saying he's here now. Ye Wuxian gasps in relief, thinking if it had been any later, she'd be dead. Seeing her injuries, Lu Fan's eyes blaze with fury, telling her to rest while he teaches that guy some rules. He immediately summons Xiao Fei to heal Ye Wuxian, declaring the fight is his alone. Ning Tu squints, recognizing a dragon tamer, roaring that attacking his puppet means death. Lu Fan replies coldly, asking if he knows the price of hurting her. Ning Tu sneers, mocking a small noble clan as only fit to become his puppets. He reconnects the severed arm and howls, ordering the ghost general to crush Lu Fan. In a flash, the puppet lunges, its punch like thunder, making the ground collapse. But Lu Fan doesn't dodge, his golden-scaled arm blocks the blow, shocking Ning Tu. Lu Fan smirks, mocking the puppet's weakness, then activates Golden Dragon King gear, transforming into a battle dragon. Xiao Fei emerges as a spirit, doubling dragonkind power, and Lu Fan's punch sends the ghost general flying. Ning Tu rolls, coughing and panicked, angrily commanding the puppet to rise and keep fighting. The more he thinks, the more terrified he is. A single strike overpowered a level 100 puppet. Could dragon transformation be the true dragon tamer technique? Lu Fan hovers midair, coldly asking why he was so arrogant earlier, wanting to turn him into a puppet. Instantly, he activates dragon language suppression, copying Fire Cocoon's skill, summoning raining flames onto the enemy. Ning Tu laughs maniacally, shaking his bell, shouting it's too fun, ordering the ghost general to stand. The puppet rises, blocking the attack, taking the full fiery strike for its master. Ning Tu is pleased, but Lu Fan scans and seizes level 103 Zhuang Meng and the ghost general level 100. Immediately, Lu Fan charges, unleashing relentless attacks. Ironically, the puppet mocks him, claiming Lu Fan can't harm it. Lu Fan roars, activating Golden Dragon King gear, burning gold flames at 20 power. 2 follow-up spinning attacks strike hard. 1 blow tears space, hitting the puppet, making it bleed and stagger back. Lu Fan shouts, your turn now. Pushed to the edge, Ning Tu shakes his bell, promising Lu Fan something more interesting. He pulls a talisman, activating a level 100 divine skill, summoning the mountain god's avatar. The ghost general surges with blood, growing in size, strength, and durability tripled by mountain god gear. Ning Tu laughs, boasting triple stats and mountain god buffs, enough to terrify a level 100 armored puppet. Not stopping, he uses soul-penetrating nails, driving 3 black nails into the puppet, each adding 100 attack, unstoppable. Lu Fan returns to human form, calmly saying 10 or 100 times more is no problem. He identifies the puppet's fatal weakness: strong muscles but stiff and inflexible. Ning Tu challenges him, curious which dragon Lu Fan will summon. Lu Fan calls Xiao Qi, a timid little dragon hiding behind him, trembling at the giant monster. Ironically, Ning Tu mocks, surprised this dragon is also one of Lu Fan's rare ones. Lu Fan lifts Xiao Qi, encouraging her she can fight even the devouring demon dragon king, no need to fear. Motivated, Xiao Qi charges, while Lu Fan orders Xiao Fei to use the Black Blade, assassinating the Dragon King from the shadows. Ning Tu is startled, immediately using Unbreakable Clarity skill to create a protective barrier. He orders the Ghost General to crush them instantly. The puppet charges, but near Lu Fan its arm trembles, frozen in place. It has entered the toxic pool created by Xiao Qi. The poison paralyzes it. Ning Tu panics, unaware of when the poison appeared. He uses successive dispel skills, but Xiao Qi's toxin is impervious. Lu Fan smirks, saying relying on your own body won't save you now. The puppet thrashes in the poison, but before escaping, a black shadow slashes it in half with the shadow blade. Lu Fan leaps, unleashes Dragon Annihilation, sinking the puppet completely into the mud. Losing his strongest puppet, Ning Tu is horrified, realizing Lu Fan is truly a monster. Ning Tu activates Ghost Illusion and flees, vowing to find Lu Fan for revenge later. Lu Fan smirks coldly, knowing the high-level puppet materials won't let him escape easily. Ning Tu releases 2 guardian puppets, ordering the ghost guards to stop Lu Fan. Instantly, Lu Fan slices the 2 puppets to pieces in a flash. Xiao Fei cleans up the rest. Ning Tu is terrified when the Black Blade appears, slashed to the ground, unable to believe his quick defeat. Lu Fan lands beside him. Ning Tu raises his hands, begging miserably for his life. Lu Fan glares, mocking his once arrogant teeth now reduced to pleading. Ning Tu still tries flattery, promising the Ning family and everything if saved. Lu Fan ignores him, ordering Xiao Fei to summon the devouring holy dragon. The colossal frost dragon appears. Ning Tu panics, thinking Lu Fan mad enough to kill him. Devouring holy dragon uses manipulation skill, turning Ning Tu into a new puppet, his body rising with hollow eyes. Lu Fan checks info, realizing the new puppet is Ning Tu, the devouring a level 103 non-random master with puppet-making skills, triple nail soul, and mountain god avatar. He grins, seeing all master skills applied to the puppet, imagining creating an entire puppet squad from him. Ye Wuxian runs over, panting, astonished that the Ning family heir was defeated so quickly. She admires Lu Fan as he explains the plan: a level 100 puppet could be enhanced by skills but was wasted too much. Lu Fan orders recalling all devouring blunders, using Ning Tu to craft a new puppet. The assassin puppets now have bells on their hands, becoming true combat machines. Not stopping, Lu Fan commands Ning Tu to use triple nail soul merge. The black nails pierce the puppets, boosting their power by 100. Lu Fan is thrilled as long as they live. The black cords let them develop maximally. Ye Wuxian glows with envy, seeing a massive puppet army on the left, a puppet squad on the right. Enemies truly unlucky. Lu Fan confidently declares that if Ye Wuxian becomes Western realm power, he will help her rise to top noble status. From afar, Huang Yingying runs crying. Lu Fan coldly assigns him to restore Huangfu Hall in a month, or be expelled. With that settled, Ye Wuxian suddenly feels dizzy and collapses. Lu Fan quickly lifts her, preparing to rest her. That night, at the giant volcano on the Western realm border, furious roars echo as molten lava boils violently. A reed-haired girl radiating heat frantically smashes rocks, demanding the killer of her brother Ning Sheng, eldest daughter of the Ning family, level 109. Firebirds circle her, echoing their mistress' rage. From afar, the Ning family head calls out, warning Ning Sheng to stay calm. She's still breaking through level 110. Why rush here? He appears atop a legendary divine bird. Ning Yang turns, redade, staring at the broken jade pendant, asking if her father knows Ning Tu's whereabouts, and if her brother is dead. The Ning family head frowns, angrily asking what nonsense she's speaking. Ning Yang throws the pendant fragment, explaining the master link to Ning Tu is now severed. This proves her brother's life has ended, filling her with pain and despair. The Ning family head is shocked, unable to believe her brother is dead. Ning Yang speculates Ning Tu met disaster while collecting cores from the Huang family, determined to overturn them for justice. The Ning family head orders restraint, emphasizing her priority is reaching level 110. Ning Tu is secondary. Her father's words infuriate Ning Xiang. Nothing matters more than her brother's life. As she tries to leave, the Ning family head draws his sword, ordering Bai knows already. He will send someone to the Huang family for news, and she must stay to keep leveling, not leave on her own. Ning Xiang throws a punch at her father, challenging him. She's defying him. But the gap is too large. Her father's sword breaks her arm, teaching her she cannot oppose him. At that moment, Lilitu, Ning Xiang's fiancé, rushes over to restrain her anger. He helps her up, revealing the harsh truth that Ning Tu was killed. Unrelated to the Huang family, she painfully asks who the culprit is. Lilitu solemnly reveals it was Yera's steward, Dragon Tamer Lufan. The Ning family head is surprised he heard Lufan's dragons aren't even level 50, incapable of killing Ning Tu. Lilitu confirms Lufan once helped Yera subdue the Huang and Long families, using only 3 dragons to kill Ning Tu, total force equivalent to 8. Ning Yang screams in rage, demanding to know where Lufan is. Lilitu quietly suggests Ning Yang and Se Nai stay calm. He has a silent solution. After tense discussion, everyone agrees Xiao La's plan is sound, avenging Ning Tu without disrupting entry into the secret realm. The girl ponders, then nods in agreement, while Han silently calculates, eyes flashing with determination. She decides to deliver the secret realm herself, but will meet Lufan first. 2 days later, in Western Realm, the cold wind blows. She refuses to go to Longdu with Han, wanting to reach level 97 first and guard against the Ning family, staying at least a month. As she speaks, she hands an item to Han, gently reminding him to accept it, using teleportation to the designated location. Han doesn't grasp immediately. She laughs, scolding him, explaining teleportation doesn't shorten the 2-day distance from Western Realm to Longdu. She explains the family has a master-enhanced teleportation door, opening 2-way gates to fixed locations. Han ponders, while she seriously reminds him that even with the door, he can't reach Longdu for a month. Before he reacts, she suddenly turns back, clasping Han's face with both hands. Her eyes are serious yet soft, reminding him of family duty. Han nods. She smiles, saying she still wants to return to his hometown, and they agree. She adds that the equipment will be useful for the final exam. Entering the schoolyard, Lufan bumps into a girl, catching her and warning to be careful. Recognizing Lufan, she smiles apologetically, surprised he returned for the big exam. The vice principal nods beside her. Lufan asks about her health. She smiles, fully recovered, emphasizing he saved her life. The vice principal seriously reminds him to form a 5-person team before the trial. Lufan scans for teammates, quickly spotting Sword Shadow being harassed by a male student. The boy introduces himself as number 9, level 31 dual swordsman, hoping Sword Shadow will team up, but she coldly refuses. Immediately, Dao Xiaoman frowns, annoyed that the boy harasses Sword Shadow at the start of term, and won't stop by the end. At that moment, Xiaoman cheers upon seeing Lufan. The group rushes over, surprised his back. Thus, Sword Shadow confirms the team of 5 is complete. Dao Xiaoman is thrilled, confident with Lufan to handle the challenge. While enjoying themselves, Lufan hears a shout from afar. The top 10 team is missing one. Anyone want in? Dao Xiaoman frowns, noticing Jiang Fengyun and Xu Ting, who previously lost to Lufan. Suddenly, a deep voice says, "I'll join if you can take first place," surprising the group. Then a 2 tall figure steps out, imposing Meng Jie, a mysterious transfer student. Jiang Fengyun greets him, but Meng Jie stays cold, joining only due to exam rules. Curious, Lufan asks Tan Tu explains Meng Jie transferred during the national trial period. Dao Xiaoman adds that Meng Jie comes from a military noble legion, winning 132 consecutive arena battles. Lufan nods, "Let's move fast, they're not true threats this round." Su Ting hurriedly tells Jiang Fengyun that Lufan returned, drawing his attention. Meng Jie freezes at the name Lufan, confused by everyone's reaction. Jiang Fengyun explains Lufan is a dragon tamer, number 1 in Qingyan class, almost unbeatable. Meng Jie roars angrily, joining only to claim first place, unfazed by Lufan's achievements. He reveals a chest emblem on his chest, shocking the crowd. It's a level 3 Blood Y Army badge. Meng Jie draws his sword on his shoulder, declaring his lifelong goal: youngest national general. In a flash, Han asks Jiang Fengyun if he's confident against Lufan. He stammers, intimidated. Surprisingly, Meng Jie extends his hand, smiling, welcoming Jiang Fengyun to join the team. Back at Villa 2, Lufan opens gifts from Ye Pu Tian, distributing equipment and skill books evenly. Lufan immediately assigns gear. Dao Xiaoman receives Eternal Flow, 40 water damage, thrilled by her first legendary weapon. Sword Shadow reminds her to thank the donor. Dao Xiaoman agrees. Lufan laughs, noting they'll have to wait a month. 3 days later, Longdu Arena shakes as the final exam officially begins, atmosphere electrifying. Drawing lots, Lu Fan picks number 8, curious who his opponent will be. Dao Xiaoman warns the rival is strong enough to knock out the whole team. Then the opposing team appears, led by a chubby male swordsman. He rushes over to take a photo with Lu Fan, then turns pale realizing he drew number 8, giving up immediately. Dao Xiaoman stops him, warning not to quit, as performance in combat counts for the exam. Lu Fan reassures him he won't be defeated right away, ensuring everyone a chance to perform. Instantly, the match begins. 5 opponents charge aggressively. Dao Xiaoman calmly commands Tan Thu to hold the enemies, initiating a counterattack. In a flash, her light-trapping skill erects 6 walls, imprisoning all 5 opponents in a divine cage. Dao Xiaoman smiles, regretful the rivals missed their best counterattack window. Suddenly, Sword Mistress activates Still Strike. Countless water needles pierce the formation, slowing and weakening enemies. Tan Thu finishes with Essence Strike, burning and dealing massive magic damage, fully incapacitating the opposing team. The audience gasps. 2 versus 5 ended instantly. Lu Fan's girls are overwhelmingly strong. Lu Fan sits back, arms crossed, smiling, surprised at how formidable his team has become. At that moment, Jiang Ying humbly said his victory came from persistent training, not just luck. Ironically, Feng Yun's team watched as Mang Jia boldly challenged, aiming to defeat Lu Fan and push the team into the Blood Garb army. 6 days later, Longdu Arena was hotter than ever, with spectators betting wildly as well as watching. Cheers erupted instantly. Both Lu Fan and Mang Jia drew attention, though opinions on yesterday's results varied. In a flash, Mang Jia soloed a brutal opponent, shattering bones in under 5 minutes, leaving a chilling end. Surprisingly, both main generals were absent in the semifinals, leaving Lu Fan and Mang Jia to watch from the sidelines. On the arena floor, Dao Xiaoman, Chun Shu, and Jiang Ying faced the remaining 4 Feng Yun Pavilion members. At both ends, Lu Fan and Mang Jia sat with arms crossed, eyes like kings watching a chess game. Demons. Seeing this, Zhang Fengyun grew impatient, taunting that fame as number 1 couldn't be held without action. In contrast, Lu Fan only smiled faintly, implying they must try on their own to succeed. Immediately, Zhang Fengyun roared orders, "Stop hesitating, take them down now!" Instantly, the battle erupted. Dao Xiaoman unleashed Sword Domain in a frozen state. Following that, Qin Shu activated Spirit Essence Surge, flooding the battlefield with light. Simultaneously, Jiang Ying used the Ham Shan Strike, 3 energy streams pounding the enemy formation. Yet, Feng Yun Pavilion had prepared, dispersing to dodge and then concentrating fire back on Jiang Ying. At that moment, an enemy mage cast a binding spell, immobilizing Jiang Ying for 5 seconds, preventing skill use. Jiang Fengyun grinned, confident she was trapped and the round was won. He charged, activating Heavenly Shadow Soul Slash, splitting into 16 illusions attacking Jiang Ying. Ironically, Jiang Ying remained calm, coldly asking back if he was sure. Despite skill lock, weapon effects triggered, and Heavenly Sword Rain engulfed the enemy like a storm. Jiang Fengyun panicked, shouting that it was impossible for her to act while restrained. The sword storm shredded the enemy, seriously wounding Zhang Fengyun and collapsing his ambush plan. Seeing his teammates in danger, Mang Jia leapt up, gripping his great sword, exuding killing intent. He immediately brushed aside Dao Xiaoman and Chun Shu, stating they weren't his target, only Lu Fan. In an instant, his sword pointed at the opponent, roaring dragon cavalry, "Come out!" Yet Lu Fan calmly replied that anyone wishing to meet him must first get past him. As tension rose, Qin Shu prepared to charge in and fight alongside. At that moment, Lu Fan stopped her, stepping onto the field alone, saying Feng Yun Pavilion would have fallen long ago if it were a true life-or-death fight. He signaled Jiang Ying and Dao Xiaoman to fall back, protecting Chun Shu behind them. In contrast, Mang Jia grew angrier, mocking that hiding behind women was no prideful act. With that, he transformed into a beast and swung his great sword. Like lightning, Lu Fan dodged swiftly, readying the bright snake bow. In a flash, a magic arrow sliced through the wind, halting the fierce strike. Immediately, Mang Jia stepped back, growling and asking if Lu Fan saw clearly. He then declared he was a warrior who survived the beast-tied battlefield. Lu Fan landed, eyes cold, acknowledging Mang Jia's hidden strength, but insisting that to win he must injure Lu Fan. Provoked, Mang Jia roared, his voice shaking the arena. At peak, blood energy exploded, dyeing the arena red, as he shouted he would crush Lu Fan today. Instantly, Mang Jia transformed fully, activating Blood Wolf Rampage, boosting power and defense by 750, delighting Jiang Fengyun. Yet, joy quickly turned to terror as Mang Jia lost control, unable to distinguish friend from foe. Lu Fan realized rage made him, in his beast form, completely lose reason. Immediately, Mang Jia roared, tearing everything in his reach to shreds. Ironically, instead of attacking Lu Fan, he swung at Jiang Fengyun's teammates, shocking him. Teammates hastily erected defenses, but the beast's insane power shattered them all. Spectators panicked and fled as Mang Jia rampaged, hitting allies, forcing a chaotic retreat. She anxiously turned to the vice principal to halt the contest, but Lu Fan stayed calm. Amid chaos, Lu Fan soared with dragon wings spread, aiming straight at the frenzied Mangjia. He decided to stop him before he fully became a feral beast. Instantly, Lu Fan activated Copy's skill, lunging forward to prepare a counterattack. Every lightning strike hit Mangjia, paralyzing him instantly, leaving no strength to resist. The electricity then jumped to Feng Yun Pavilion, shocking all members into convulsions. After 4 leaps, total damage rose 120, sending Feng Yun Pavilion crashing, blackened and paralyzed. The arena fell silent. Stunned Lu Fan cleared the map, and Vice Principal Zhao Gongjia urgently called for a stop. Lu Fan landed, hands in pockets, calmly saying he didn't want their lives, but they'd at least spend days bedridden. Mangjia finally exited beast form from exhaustion, collapsing onto the arena floor. She announced the contest ended. The vice principal declared Lu Fan's team victorious, yet he didn't leave, approaching Jiang Fengyun's team. Instantly, he drew a summoning formation. Xiao Fei appeared as a cute little girl, thrilling the audience. Lu Fan ordered Xiao Fei to use healing powers to mend Mangjia and teammates' injuries. Xiao Fei nodded, covering them in green light, rapidly healing the blackened wounds. Mangjia woke dazed, surprised to be healed by Lu Fan. Lu Fan turned to leave, unwilling to continue the duel with the defeated. But Mangjia refused to accept it, pounding the ground in frustration, insisting he had trained hard. He complained that Lu Fan, just a student, defeated him too easily, claiming it was unfair. He insisted Lu Fan's victory was mere luck. Lu Fan paused, replied sternly that people may think he was lucky, but his strength and training every dragon pet earned the results. Instantly, Dao Xiaoman pointed at Lu Fan, highlighting his exploits in the North and Gold Division badge, impressing everyone. Yet Mangjia trembled, astonished at Lu Fan's power and achievements, unable to believe it. Zhang Fengyun was speechless. The boy had been enrolled just a year yet accomplished so much. Lu Fan put away his medal, seriously telling Mangjia he wouldn't abuse power but stressed relentless effort to reach goals, then left with teammates amid roaring applause. That night, after the victory feast, Lu Fan returned to his room, full and joyful, satisfied with his little chef's cooking. He thought of the role his senior had gifted him, certain it would be delicious. Opening the door, Lu Fan froze. Jianying was asleep on the bed, long hair splayed, wearing a thin, alluring nightdress. He blushed, swallowed, slammed the door, heart pounding, wondering if he'd really seen that or if it was the mushrooms. Taking a deep breath, Lu Fan reopened the door, seeing Jianying awake and dazed, asking, "What are you doing here?" Jianying stood awkwardly, bowing and apologizing for entering his room uninvited. She admitted she was actually waiting for him, wanting to be with him after the meal. Lu Fan was startled, asking, "Wanna with me?" Embarrassed, Jianying explained she wanted to discuss leave, since after the break they would leave long. Lu Fan laughed, of course, but wondered why. Jianying's eyes briefly saddened, voice lowering, revealing she had nowhere else to go. She recounted her family tragedy: Yun Bei border city destroyed by the beast tide, everything gone. Her relatives sent her to Longdu, then fought to the last moment, none survived. Jianying turned away, hiding tears. Yun Bei was no longer her home. Lu Fan was silent, surprised such pain hid behind her strength, saying staying during the break was fine. He stepped forward, patted her shoulder, assuring her no one is born alone, and they'd return together to her new home in Jianghai. Jianying was moved, eyes reddened, thanking him. Meanwhile, at the Taiki border, a horrific disaster struck. The ground shook as a 1,000-meter frost dragon rose, eyes blooded. Instantly, the divine bone ancient god returned, roaring powerfully, targeting the dragon cavalry, ready to destroy. The White Frost Monster Legion spread, massacring cities in its path. At a Long Nation airport, an urgent announcement reported Taiki under monster water tide attack, all flights suspended indefinitely. In Tianshou Pavilion, Patriarch Lu knelt before the giant frost dragon, smiling and flattering, "I've brought someone for you." The divine bone glared, commanding, "Patriarch, raise lightly and spare us." He ordered soldiers to bring a group of prisoners before the divine bone. Among them were Jingzhou, Princess Q, and Chen Tianjui. Jingzhou panicked, confused. Family now prisoners, what else could they want? Patriarch Lu pointed at Chen Tianzi, introducing him to the divine bone as the only dragon cavalry in Taiki, asking if he was the one sought. Chen Tianjai, bound, looked at the giant beast, planning to escape silently. He secretly restored his dragon realm and shouted to Jingzhou, "Run!" But with a single glance, the divine bone crushed his dragon into dust. It snorted coldly, "Cowardly Asian dragon, unworthy of being called a dragon is not who I seek." Furious, the divine bone attacked with terrifying force, tossing Chen Tianjai into the air. It pressed close to him, asking, "Do you know who this is?" Chen Tianjui, sweating and trembling, answered, "He is a Longdu Academy student, Lu Fan." Hearing the name, the divine bone was pleased. "Good, I want you to lead me to him." Chen Tianju collapsed, staring at the dragon corpse in despair, but the divine bone offered ancient godly power if he agreed. He hesitated, knowing he'd faced the same fate as the previous god. Seeing an opportunity, ambition and hatred flashed in his eyes. He begged, "Grant me the power to kill him, I agree." The divine bone exhaled over him, sensing his resentment and hatred, praising it as good. Chen Tianjai screamed in pain as his bones restructured, but his power surged wildly. System notification: Chen Tianji Divine Bone Servant Level 110 Divine Bone Dragon Rider. He stood sensing level 110 power, the surreal aura of an ancient god flooding his body. The Divine Bone commanded, "You are now equivalent to my Divine Bone Servant, life and death, at my will, temporarily stored in your long pet space until we find Lu Fan." Chen Tianji bowed in obedience, thanking the Divine Bone, promising to lead it to Lu Fan. Patriarch Lu panicked, rushing to stop him. "You cannot go!" Chen Tianji turned, eyes cold, asserting no one could block his path. At that moment, their grudges reached an end. Lu Jia fearfully stepped back. Suddenly, a masked figure appeared. Dan Tengyu, level 105 of the Dan clan, threatening to claim his power. Chen Tianju sneered at the ant, daring to call itself a level 100 elite. Instantly, with a single Divine Bone Rampage strike, he pierced Dan Tengyu, killing him immediately. Patriarch Lu knelt, begging for mercy, but Chen Tianjai showed no pity, crushing him with bone claws. Lord Lu of the nation was dead. Chen Tianjai approached Jinzhou. The princess trembled, pleading and admitting past faults. He looked at her with disdain, said nothing, and flew off toward Long Nation. That afternoon in Zhanghai, Long Nation, a luxury car rolled through the streets. Sun Gi drove, admiring Lu Fan through the rearview mirror as he grew more capable. Lu Fan humbly replied he never missed a match, even with the Long pets truly formidable. Aunt Han Ke turned to Jian Ying, comforting her to live with her at Jiangshanhua Yuan, the reward for Lu Fan's top scholar achievement. Dao Xiaoman lamented being away from her parents. Qunshu smiled, reassuring her they were ready to welcome her today. A broadcast in the car reported the Taiki Beast Tide crisis ended. Lord Lu sacrificed himself. Lu Fan pondered, perhaps I caused a curse that allowed the Beast Tide to devastate nations. Even Taiki couldn't escape. The car stopped at the Tuan family villa gate. Sunji announced, young lady, we've arrived home. Qinshu cheered, seeing her father and uncle waiting. Stepping out, Qinshu and Dao Xiaoman rushed into their parents' arms. Tanshanhai, level 57, hugged his daughter, noticing how much Shed changed in half a year. He greeted Lu Fan, long time no see. Lu Fan, Miss Han. Then he introduced a close friend beside him, Dao Shan, Dao Xiaoman's father, the richest man in Zhanghai. Dao Shan smiled, little Lu, you're talented, both families owe you thanks. Dao Xiaoman blushed, stopping her father. Dao Shan continued, I didn't expect you'd help Xiao Shu and Xiao Dao come to a banquet tomorrow. Lu Fan happily accepted. The next morning at the 5-star Zhanghai Xincheng Hotel, Lu Fan sat at the banquet. The atmosphere was strange, both fathers praising him, toasting, and complimenting the couple. Tan Shanhai patted Lu Fan, joking that Xiao Shu had her eye on him. The childhood friends would surely become a couple. Both girls blushed. Dao Xiaoman yelled to stop, yet the fathers continued debating, teasing that little Lu's future spouse was still uncertain. Soon, Tan Shanhai laughed heartily, reminding Lu Fan to attend the wedding, leaving Lu Fan smiling awkwardly and trying to stop them. At that moment, Aunt Han Ka laughed joyfully, praising little Fan's fortune, while Jian Ying quietly finished her meal and set down her bowl. Just then, the two fathers realized another formidable contender was right before them. It turned out to be the beautiful girl living under the same roof as Lu Fan. So the two men quietly agreed to a temporary truce, planning for the long game ahead. Finally, the banquet ended with laughter tinged with calculation, leaving Lu Fan sweaty and tense. Leaving the party, Lu Fan walked home with An Han Ka and Jian Ying, enduring teasing with a forced smile, silently begging them to stop. At the gate, he froze seeing two former teachers waiting, cheerfully recalling old stories and proudly praising their former student. Seeing this, Aunt Han Ka quickly invited them in. Principal Bai expressed a desire to invite the three central heroes to speak at the school as examples. After a moment, Lu Fan agreed but set conditions: reach level 60 in 2 months, and the speech must not interrupt training, leaving the teachers stunned. Still, Principal Bai promised complete secrecy, ensuring no one else would know of this bold plan. The next morning, still drowsy, Lu Fan received a call from Uncle Dao Shan, laughing and scolding him for hiding important news. Unexpectedly, Uncle Dao only laughed, hinting at a gift to come, then hung up mysteriously. Immediately after, Uncle Tan Xuan Hai called, promising experience crystals would be sent soon, assuring Lu Fan of smooth leveling. Lu Fan was shocked, realizing the secret was fully revealed, both annoyed and amused at the two uncles competing to help first. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. A delivery man appeared with 2 large boxes of experience crystals, politely asking Lu Fan to sign. Seeing the mountain of crystals, Lu Fan could only laugh and cry. Each crystal granted 150 experience points, a luxurious bounty. Not wanting to disappoint the future fathers-in-law, he decided to gift the golden cards to Qin Shu and Dao Zi in return. In the following days, Lu Fan barely slept, absorbing crystals while leading the team to wipe out newly spawned monsters on Shadow Island. The system kept announcing level 52, 53, 54 level up sounds so rapid everyone was stunned. When the crystals ran out, he stretched and sighed, realizing the massive experience only gained half a level truly expensive. 3 days later, the Three Central Academy buzzed with excitement as thousands of students eagerly awaited the famous Long Nation hero, Lu Fan. Principal Bai took the stage, proudly introducing head student Lu Fan to give the opening speech at the promotion ceremony. Amid deafening cheers, Lu Fan stepped out confidently, sharing his arduous journey to becoming a true powerhouse. But at that moment in Zhanghai's old streets, a masked stranger appeared. Chen Tianzhai, humanity's betrayer, level 110. When the Divine Bone asked about his goal, he knelt, asserting that destroying this place would force Lu Fan to act. The Divine Bone sneered, asking if he wished to spare the locals, mocking Long Nation's loyalty. Chen Tianzhai stood, eyes empty, coldly replying that killing more people would only hasten Lu Fan's appearance. Hearing this, the Divine Bone laughed with delight, declaring the massacre would begin. Instantly, Zhanghai's sky changed color. Massive heat waves scorched the city, streets melted, trees burned, screams echoed everywhere. Then fireballs and bone mist rained down like the apocalypse, alarms wailing, tearing through the atmosphere. At 3 Central, the speech was abruptly cut. The alarm left everyone stunned. Teachers shouted evacuation orders, students ran to shelters, while Lu Fan looked up, sensing the familiar aura. He was truly back. At that moment, Lu Fan saw the Tian Shan cavalry charging into danger, shouting, determined to keep the monsters from reaching the residential areas. He tried to rush forward, but was stopped by guards, shouted at to enter the shelters and not obstruct the defense team. Unable to explain, Lu Fan raised his Lion Division gold medal, its brilliance stunning the soldier into a hurried salute and apology. Lu Fan decisively commanded, "Leave this place to me. You focus on evacuating civilians, split into independent units to minimize casualties." Immediately, he soared, summoning Xiao Fei and the fallen Saint Dragon, planning to use the squad to disperse the front lines instead of summoning a giant demon. Against the howling wind, Lu Fan ordered all units to strike the flying Divine Bones, minimizing destruction. The puppets responded in unison, voices resounding, "At your command, master!" Teams spread across the city, starting a breathtaking battle to protect Zhanghai from the ancient god. Seeing this, Lu Fan revealed his hand, ascending into the sky, eyes blazing with will, shouting, "All follow me!" as summoning circles lit around him. Instantly, Xiao Ye, Black Dragon, Abao, Green Dragon, Spirit, Starless Dragon, and Xiao Qi appeared, roaring in unison to defend Zhanghai. Below, the fallen teams, directed by Xiao Fei, spread through alleys, tirelessly fighting the White Frost monsters, forming a living wall to protect civilians. As he glided through the air, Lu Fan suddenly sensed a chilling killing intent at his nape. He tilted aside. A giant frost sword sliced past his face by mere inches. Lu Fan twisted midair, icy eyes locking on the attacker. Atop the massive frost dragon, Chen Tianzhai appeared with a twisted smile. Beside him, the skull of the ancient god laughing like thunder, flaunting had found his target. Lu Fan gritted his teeth, shouting angrily, "So the Taikyu tragedy was your doing, daring to bring that disaster here." Chen Tianzhai laughed maniacally, claiming he wasn't mad until he killed. Now that the Divine Bone had arrived, both Zhanghai and Lu Fan would perish. The ancient god looked down, booming, declaring the day of revenge had come. Humanity would pay 100-fold. Lu Fan roared, trying to awaken the last shred of humanity. "You're still Long Nation. Don't kill innocent civilians!" Only a scornful smile replied. Chen Tianzhai coldly said, "When I was weak, who saw me as human? Only with Divine Bone power do I truly exist." He screamed in madness, laughter mingling with hatred. "Lu Fan, day and night I've thought of you, recalled past shame. Now I'll kill you with my own hands!" Realizing Chen Tianzhai had lost all humanity, Lu Fan gritted his teeth, blocking a sword strike, and shouted for Xiao Fei to deploy Dragon Realm and Jade Mirror constructs. Xiao Fei roared, eyes blazing, trying to manifest the field and create clones to strengthen the team. Yet, space remained silent. No effects appeared. Lu Fan froze, realizing both Dragon Realm and Mirror constructs were completely sealed. From afar, the raspy laughter of the Divine Bone echoed, mocking that within its domain all illusions and skills were useless, enjoying Lu Fan's despair. Lu Fan narrowed his eyes, dashing like lightning, replying coldly, "Then let's see who falls into despair first." Chen Tianzhai laughed maniacally, charging with his spear. The clash of powers exploded like thunder, forcing Lu Fan back without gaining the upper hand. Immediately after, Chen Tianzhai transformed, body clad in white bone armor, system displaying Divine Bone Servant, level 110 Divine Bone Dragon Rider, laughing arrogantly, challenging Lu Fan to witness true power. Not leaving their master alone, all Long Pets launched support attacks. Xiao Yi roared, destructive sound waves shaking the space. Abao summoned a storm, millions of red lightning bolts striking, while Spirit fired beams of pure light, dazzling like the apocalypse. But when the smoke cleared, the Divine Bones still stood behind a massive frost shield, coldly stating it had absorbed 89 of the attacks. Lu Fan's eyes widened in horror. The combined strike had no effect on the enemy. Chen Tianzhai sneered, taunting, "Still worrying about your Long Pets. Your real opponent is here." Lu Fan clenched his fists, realizing both Divine Bone and Chen Tianzhi were level 110, with power far beyond human imagination. Chen Tianzhi spun his spear, looking at him with pity, whispering, "Before the ancient god's power, you are but dust." He screamed, activating his ultimate skill Divine Bone Silver Destruction. Silver Bone armor covered him, boosting all attributes and granting full control immunity. Lu Fan panted, aware of the danger, but still focused on counterattacking, ordering Xiao Ye to block and Xiao Fei to support. Xiao Fei merged into him, activating Piathethi Dragon Bloodline. Doubling all skills, Lu Fan slashed twice through the void, then unleashed a 6-strike Dragon Annihilation Chain, pressing Chen Tianzhi. Pushed back but supported by Xiao Fei's soul, he held firm, enduring pain, building rage, wiping blood from his lips, and snarled, "Not done yet, Divine Frost God, counterattack!" As Lu Fan braced himself, a familiar voice called from behind. He turned, astonished, seeing Jianying, Dao Xiaoman, and Qin Shu flying toward him, asserting, "We are teammates! Tell us what to do!" Chen Tianzhi laughed maniacally, voice booming, "Good! Come at me all! I'll send you all to death!" He transformed his arm into a giant bone claw, ready to unleash a destructive strike over the entire sky. From above, the Divine Bone glanced down coldly, ordering his servants to eliminate the 3 girls on the spot. Sensing imminent danger, Lu Fan gripped his sword, silently shouting, "No one else gets hurt!" Without hesitation, he activated the lit long set golden light erupted around him, transforming him into the Golden Dragon King, power surging fiercely. In an instant, he became a colossal golden dragon, shielding his teammates from the enemy, roaring to heaven, shouting for them to retreat and coordinate with Xiao Qi. Dao Xiaoman responded quickly, pulling Jianying out of the combat zone, diving to the ground like trained. But Chen Tianzhi only sneered, voice cold, "Who can you save in this hell?" He roared, activating his second ultimate skill, Divine Bone God Transformation, devouring tens of thousands of bones, becoming a giant white bone figure riding a bone dragon. In a blink, he controlled over 59,000 bones, forming a giant hand that covered the sky, swinging down toward the 3 girls in flight. Lu Fan dashed to block the strike, shouting, "I'll handle him! You 3 coordinate with Xiao Qi!" Chen Tianzhi roared, "Stop me! Even a flying dragon would dare!" A bone claw pierced golden scales, blood spraying, a roar of agony echoing across the sky. The golden light vanished. Lu Fan fell, returning to human form, arm bloodied. At 70 long tribe total attack, Lu Fan, gravely injured, shouted orders for all long pets to prepare their decisive strike. Obeying, the dragons rose together, channeling maximum power, ready to unleash their final attacks. Xiao Yi spewed blazing lava across the battlefield of Biao, summoned a world-destroying lightning storm spirit, unleashed pure energy beams, all combining into a cataclysmic apocalypse. The sky above Zhanghai exploded in fiery light as 3 girls cheered, thinking victory was theirs. Part 71 Chains of the Ancient God. As the smoke cleared, Lu Fan gasped, hoping the allowed attack worked. But then Shen Gus's icy voice shattered all hope. "Enough. I've lost patience with these insects." He raised his hand, summoning the ultimate control skill Divine Bone Chain. From the void, countless white bone chains shot out like venomous snakes, binding all targets for 60 seconds and nullifying every skill and item. Lu Fan and his dragon beasts hung helplessly midair, their resistance gone, despair creeping in. Is the ancient god truly unbeatable? Shen Gu ordered Chen Tianzhi to finish it, growling, "You'll die," proving him the strongest dragon master. Part 72 Summoning the Devourer Dragon Queen. Facing death, Lu Fan decided to gamble everything. As the giant bone hand descended, he shouted, "Die with that useless pride of yours!" Then he roared, "Devourer Dragon Queen, heed my summon!" A black-purple magic array erupted, blasting back the bone hand, and a regal, alluring woman emerged, the human form of the Devourer Dragon Queen. Chen Tianzhi froze, muttering, "Where did this power come from?" The Dragon Queen glanced at Lu Fan, half scolding, half proud. "Hemph, only now you believe in me. The system warned, 2 summons left." She sighed, "First time meeting me and you dare call me out against an ancient god. Bold move." Lu Fan asked, "Can you beat him?" She smirked, "Might take time, but I'm the Dragon Queen, ruler of all dragons," then glared coldly at the ancient god. With a single shout, space trembled, every bone chain exploded, freeing Lu Fan and his dragons. The ancient god froze, hollow eyes wide, disbelief that his power was shattered. On the ground, Tan Shanhai and Dao Shan wept with joy, shouting, "See, that's Lu Fan's victory sign." Part 73 War of the Gods. In the sky above Zhanghai, the Dragon Queen stood proud, sneering, "A pile of bones dares call itself a god." Raising her hand, she summoned heaven-rending apocalypse, stormfire, wind, and lightning merging into a 12-second annihilation. The cataclysmic storm tore space apart, engulfing Shen Gu the ancient god and Chen Tianzhi in blinding light. Freed from chains, Lu Fan and his dragons retreated, awed by the Dragon Queen's power beyond all limits had known. Shen Gu screamed as his massive bone armor cracked under unbearable force, forcing him to raise his final defense. He activated Divine Bone Barrier, a dense wall of bones absorbing damage from the remains around him. But the Dragon Queen gave no mercy. Her arm turned into a colossal scythe of darkness, unleashing abyssal maw, cutting through 90 defense layers with armor break effect. The explosion roared, the bone wall shattered, Shengus' giant form was blasted away, and Chen Tianzi was swept off, screaming into the storm. Part 74, Death of the Traitor. While the two gods clashed, Lu Fan turned his aim toward Chen Tianzi, the lone betrayer still standing. Chen Tianzi charged madly, roaring, "You think having the Dragon Queen means victory?" He formed bone dragon claws, forgetting Lu Fan never fought alone. Lu Fan ordered coldly, "Xiao Ye, Abo, Xing Shen, attack!" Xiao Yi spewed magma, forming a sea of fire. Abo struck thunder from the sky, and Xing Shen's beam pierced Chen Tianzi's chest. His body burned black and crumbled. In despair, Chen Tianzi gasped, "You don't get it, I just wanted to escape the abyss." Was that so wrong? His voice cracked. "The golden pearl was my only chance. Was it a sin to take it?" Lu Fan paused, listening in silence. He sighed, eyes heavy with sorrow. "I understand, but you chose the wrong path." The bowstring twanged, the serpent arrow shot forth, piercing Chen Tianzi's heart in a blaze of light. He spat blood, eyes fading, falling from the sky, his life of hatred and mistakes ending at last. Part 75, Spoils of War. Chen Tianzi had fallen. Shengu, the ancient god, was dying, barely clinging to existence amid the collapsing space. He hissed at the Dragon Queen. "You were born to devour power, why not stand with me?" She replied coldly, "Little Dragon Master, afraid I'll betray you." Lu Fan growled, "Dragon Queen, don't forget our pact, end him." She snorted, then unleashed her final strike, turning the ancient god to dust. Before fading, Shengus' voice echoed icily, "Don't think it's over, 35 other ancient gods remain. When they awaken, this world will vanish." The battle ended. The sky over Jianghai cleared, dawn's light shining upon the ruined city. Power surged through Lu Fan. Level 59 reached. The Dragon Queen returned to human form, teasing, "So, little hero, how will you thank me?" Her voice turned sultry, tempting him to lower his guard, maybe shed help him once more. Blushing, Lu Fan turned away, reminding her the battle was over and she should rest. Just then, from the fading remains of the god's bones, a red-white cube of energy appeared. Lu Fan grabbed it. The system chimed. He had obtained the ancient god's core essence. The Dragon Queen explained it was Shen Gus' resurrection nucleus, but for him, it could evolve the fallen corpse Saint Dragon into a Dragon King. Finishing her words, she yawned and vanished back into the pet realm, lazily wishing him good night. When Lu Fan landed, villagers cheered for their victorious hero. Then Tan Shanhai arrived, bringing a stranger to Lu Fan's shock. It was his old mentor. The Lion Squad captain smiled warmly, patting his shoulder. "Been a while, kid." Meanwhile, in the heavenly Blessing Island's palace garden, a massive mist cocoon cracked, red light seeping out. Something mighty was about to emerge. Lu Fan held his breath, heart racing. The final evolution was here. As the shell burst, ancient energy swept across the island, forcing all to retreat. A colossal mist dragon clad in spiked armor stepped forth, roaring across the island. The new Dragon King was born. Instantly, data screens displayed overwhelming stats, godbone abilities unleashed with terrifying power. Lu Fan marveled, merging all corpses and puppets. His power now rivaled a true Dragon King. Ecstatic, he ordered the Dragon King's godbone form to test its ultimate skill. In a flash, the dragon roared, dissolving into bones that reformed around Lu Fan's arms as a menacing dragonbone armor. Clenching his fists, he felt a storm of power surge. His stats soared beyond imagination, trembling with excitement. He switched the territory to dark mining mode, seeking targets to test on. Instantly, dark clouds gathered, thunder cracked, heralding the start of the trial. 2 level 95 Shadow Dragon generals appeared, ready to serve as his punching bags. Lu Fan charged in barehanded. One bone-armored punch shattered the air itself. The first Shadow Dragon general was obliterated instantly, body disintegrating before reacting. Activating Divine Bone Rebirth, Lu Fan's body flared with light, power tripled. His next strike crushed half the remaining boss. Witnessing this, Jianying and Tanthu froze, horrified. Those stats surpass human limits. After the terrifying test, Lu Fan and team returned to Longdu through a teleport gate, heading to the Job Advancement Hall. There he learned he couldn't choose a new class, only evolve from his current path. Placing his hand on the advancement orb, light burst forth. Level 60 achieved, job upgrade complete. As his mind drifted into the transformation realm, a strange spirit appeared, making him tense. The Dragon Queen appeared behind him, chuckling, "You can sense me, huh?" Making Lu Fan warn her not to mess around. She smirked, saying she came for business, revealing the location of a Dragon King armor egg, a reward for triple-tier players. Hearing the name, Lu Fan fell silent, focusing intently. The Dragon Queen leaned close, whispering the egg's location at the border of Yinghua Nation. As the process ended, light faded, and Lu Fan returned to reality as a third-tier Dragon Saint Knight, his strength greatly enhanced. He opened his map and contacted Haishu, a trusted information broker, to prepare for the next journey. Haishu confirmed by phone, visa cleared, funds transferred, ready for departure. Lu Fan fixed his gaze on Yinghua Nation's coordinates, determined to claim the Dragon King armor egg. 3 days later, he arrived at the international airport, boarding a flight to the European city, the next chapter of his quest. Upon landing, he spotted a group of oddly dressed people gathered near the bus terminal. They were discussing the death of Miri Zetten, a top Yinghua fighter slain during the trials. Lu Fan silently boarded Special Route Bus 137 bound for Broken God Valley, rumored home of the Dragon Egg. The bus rolled through noon till dusk, the atmosphere growing heavy with unease. Suddenly, the driver announced the next stop was their destination, Demons. But some passengers noticed something wrong. The route was completely different from the planned one. A brave young man pulled a knife on the driver, demanding he stop immediately. The bus screeched to a halt in a desolate field. The driver calmly removed his gloves, revealing a glowing blue-purple array in his palm. He smirked coldly, "Welcome to my hunting grounds." Instantly, a spatial black hole tore open, swallowing the entire bus and its passengers into a mysterious cavern. As he was sucked in, Lu Fan struggled in vain, opening his eyes to nothing but thick darkness. Where was this place? Then the driver transformed, revealing himself as Hirata Rina, a level 71 spatial mage and serial killer. He conjured a black energy sphere, sneering that draining rookie's life force was his favorite, fast and efficient. In the gloomy cave, he cast destructive radiance, the dark energy devouring everyone's vitality nearby. A trembling boy in blue begged, claiming they were Kyoto trainees who could pay any price to live. Hirata laughed cruelly. "If I spare you, who'll ensure you don't expose me?" Cornered, the trainees resisted. A muscular man roared, breaking chains and rallying the others to fight. But before they could move, a burly figure behind Hirata swung a giant axe, killing the man instantly. The newcomer, cloaked in wolf hide, smirked coldly. "Who said there's only one enemy here?" He licked his lips, muttering it'd been ages since he got to play with so many level 60 rookies. His eyes swept the crowd, locking onto Lu Fan, the only one standing calm amid chaos, and growled, "No one leaves alive." He swung his axe straight at Lu Fan as others screamed warnings in panic. But Lu Fan merely smirked. His arm shimmered with gleaming white bone armor. Divine bone armor activated. His arm turned into Dragon King plating. The Titan axe bounced off like a toy. The wolfman gaped, muttering, "That axe carried my full power. How did it rebound so easily?" Lu Fan frowned, golden eyes flaring, voice low and cold. "You dare attack me, then die." A colossal dragon aura burst forth, the shockwave tearing space apart like a Category 12 storm. Both Hirata and the wolfman were hurled into rock walls, dying instantly without a scream. The surviving trainees froze one strike, and 2 level 70 foes vanished. Not lingering, Lu Fan spread his black dragon wings and shot out of the cave, leaving behind terrified yet admiring eyes. One whispered shakily, "He didn't even go all out. Who the hell is he?" The shaken group hurriedly packed up, desperate to escape the death zone. They ran through the forest by flickering flashlight, while rustling sounds crept ever closer. Suddenly, a massive serpent lunged from the dark as fireballs rained from a hidden attacker. A thunderous explosion followed. Flames engulfed the group, leaving only smoke and screams. From a cliff above, 2 shadowy figures watched silently, eyes calculating, all focus on Lu Fan. At dawn, Lu Fan soared toward a towering peak, Celestial Peak. He tried flying to the summit, but was violently repelled by an invisible barrier. The area was sealed. As he fell back, the Dragon Queen appeared behind him, arms crossed. "Don't bother, a divine seal guards that place. No one crosses it." Lu Fan asked curiously, "So what exactly is a god, like the ancient gods?" She shrugged disdainfully. "A god just wields the power of laws. Even in 100 years, you'd be unworthy. Want your dragon to reach Dragon King level, hit 180 first." Lu Fan wiped his sweat, thinking grimly the road ahead was far longer than he'd imagined. The Dragon Queen tapped his forehead. "Quit daydreaming, worry about your path first. This mountain road isn't friendly." She asked why Lu Fan didn't train in the Divine Ruins secret realm. He simply smiled, saying he wanted the armor egg first to share evolution experience later. She chuckled mockingly, "Not bad, you're more calculating than I thought." Suddenly, eerie light burst forth, tearing open the space around them. A squad of crystal green stone warriors emerged, warning coldly, "Those who enter this forbidden land shall die." The Dragon Queen smirked, "Want me to help? Consider it our second cooperation." Lu Fan shook his head, "No need, a pig knife should be used on chickens. Save your strength." Drawing the flowing flame nebula sword, he activated Dark Dragon King Radiance, transforming into a black dragon with triple speed and armor-piercing power. In an instant, he became a black streak, charging the lead golem, murmuring, "Let's see how strong this new blessing skill really is." The stone warriors swung their hammers, but Lu Fan slipped between the blows like a phantom. He closed in, slashing twice, twin black arcs slicing through the air. Void Sever activated, a silent cut passed through, and a second later, the creature's head fell. The rest surrounded him, but Lu Fan split into shadow clones to counterattack. With superior armor penetration, he wiped out 7 golems in a blink, shaking the ground with flying debris. As he advanced, the scenery suddenly shifted. Lush forest turned into a frozen wasteland of blinding snow. Shivering in awe, he muttered, "Why did it suddenly turn to ice?" The Dragon Queen smirked, "Brace yourself, things are about to get fun." Freezing winds howled as giant ice apes wielding frost clubs, level 95, marched forth. They unleashed Frost Domain to slow him and followed with snow impact for area damage. The Dragon Queen called out, "Ice is empowered here. Their bodies are armor-plated in frost. Your normal sword won't cut them." Lu Fan instantly switched to Black Dragon Radiance, awakening dragon bloodline power that weakened and reduced enemy resistances. Channeling fire into his blade, he grinned, normal sword won't work. Then how about magma? His fairy slash scorched the frozen realm. As the blade swept through, their ice armor melted, the apes screamed, turning to ash in a sea of flame. Lu Fan pressed on, crossing zones full of bizarre creatures, fire wasps, flying fish, and countless oddities. He countered each efficiently, using Thunder Blue Dragon Aura to strike flying fish and Water Aura to drown the fire wasps. The Dragon Queen laughed softly, remarking that gods were no different from humans, vain, selfish, and foolish enough to create weaker beings to command. After surviving endless traps and elemental beasts, Lu Fan and the Dragon Queen finally reached the summit of Celestial Peak. Before them floated a vast palace among the clouds. Lu Fan gaped, asking, "Is this where gods once lived?" The Dragon Queen shook her head, smiling. "No, this is what you seek, the Sword-Armored Dragon King." Lu Fan froze in disbelief. He blurted out, "Sword-Armored Dragon King? You're joking, right?" Staring at the colossal tower that seemed alive, the Dragon Queen scoffed. "There are over 30 dragon breeds, not all fight with brute strength. Don't look so clueless." Lu Fan steadied himself, drawing his sword warily. "What's its state right now, awake or asleep?" The Dragon Queen squinted, replying, "It's in defense mode, healing itself while isolating all external attacks." Lu Fan sighed softly, "So there's nothing we can do." She smirked. "Who said that? I once planned to ally with the Abyssal Venom Dragon King, only it can crack this perfect defense." Lu Fan's eyes lit up. "You mean Xiao Ji could break that barrier?" Before they could discuss further, thunder roared. An enormous violet formation enveloped the entire peak. From its core, 8 colossal serpent heads slithered out, eyes glowing emerald, death's aura spreading. The northern serpent, Zamatano Orochi. Atop the monster stood a hooded figure who laughed coldly. "Excellent. Thanks to you, I've located this divine beast. Dragon Master of Long Nation, you've been useful." Lu Fan narrowed his eyes. "You know who I am, then who the hell are you?" The stranger slowly removed his hood, revealing a wax-pale face. "I am Yin Mozi, and you, a level 119 Moon Sage and Master of Zamatano Orochi, level 109. His contemptuous gaze met Lu Fan's. "I've watched you since the trials. Wake this beast, and you'll destroy yourself." Then he shifted tone, scheming, "Let's cooperate. Hand me the sword-armored Dragon King, and it'll make you an honorary guest of Yinghua Nation." Lu Fan laughed derisively. "Cooperate? Sounds amusing. Are you actually trying to recruit me?" Yin Mo's brow twitched. "What did you just say?" Lu Fan grinned, eyes sharp as blades. "Who do you think you are? You think a Dragon King can be swayed by your cheap flattery?" Yin Mo's face turned purple with rage. "Don't forget you're still within my control!" The purple sigil around Lu Fan flared alive. But Lu Fan sneered, tearing the barrier apart like paper. "You mean this thing?" The Dragon Queen chuckled beside him. Had he spoken sweeter, I might have actually joined him. Yin Mozi roared, "Bastard, don't think I won't fight you!" He commanded. All 8 serpent heads spewed purple fire, engulfing the sky in blazing fury. Unfazed, Lu Fan spread his black dragon wings, charging forth. "I won't waste time on a worm like you." He drew close, sneering. "Look at you, paler than a corpse, yet still craving the spotlight." He raised his fist and shouted, "Xiaofei, support me." Instantly, Xiaofei appeared, activating emerald blessings, starlight, and Sulgard buffs. Lu Fan's stats surged past 3 million. Yin Mo's face drained of color. "Northern Serpent, dodge! Quickly!" Too late. Lu Fan unleashed Heaven's punishment fist, each blow like divine thunder, crushing the serpent heads in roaring explosions. His strongest familiar lay in ruins. Yin Mozi screamed in despair, "No! My Zamatano Orochi, I'm retreating!" Lu Fan flashed forward like lightning, shouting, "You think you can take my dragon and run? Stop right there!" Cornered, Yin Mozi went mad, weaving seals and sacrificing what remained of his beast. Atonement Rite. Poseidon erupted. An enormous specter, wielding the divine blade Kusanagi, appeared. Its power tripled 300-fold, slashing straight at Lu Fan. Yin Mozi laughed maniacally. "You underestimated me. One day you'll regret it." Lu Fan stood firm, channeling all his energy into his fist, activating the full might of the starry sky dragon. "Just a bit more and it'll touch God tier," he muttered, his fist glowing as energy condensed to its absolute limit. The two forces collided. Lu Fan's punch met Poseidon's phantom blade in a sky-shattering explosion. The shockwave blew apart the ice. Poseidon's specter dissolved into blue smoke, while Yin Mozi slipped away into a spatial rift. Lu Fan raised an eyebrow. "Himph, quick escape guess has still got tricks left." Meanwhile, in a dark temple, Yin Mozi knelt trembling before a massive stone monolith, reporting his failure to his master, Ming Tianzi. His voice quavered, "Master, avenge me and Yamada no Orochi. The one who humiliated me is Lu Fan, the strongest from the national trials." At the golden crest of Celestial Peak, tension thickened. The massive black spike sphere before Lu Fan was the impenetrable defense of the sword-armored Dragon King. Equipping the Dragonbone armor, Lu Fan frowned. "My stats are past 1 million, yet I can't even scratch this shell." The Dragon Queen laughed mockingly. "Your Dragon King bone armor's only 1 star, rookie." She added, "When I fought it, the sword-armored one was nearly 4 stars. Once it wakes, it'll drop its defense stance immediately." Lu Fan took a deep breath. "Fine, I'll wake it, even if just to see." He raised his hand, dragon energy swirling violently as he stepped closer. The moment his fingertip touched the shell, shockwaves erupted, shaking the mountain to its core. Boom! The sphere split open, red light flaring, revealing blazing dragon eyes staring straight at him. The sword-armored Dragon King awakened data showed black fragrance pillar, 3-star, full power state. Lu Fan gasped, 3 stars? Impossible! He prepared to trigger Star Rift Shift to escape, but the Dragon Queen suddenly leapt forward, a wicked smile curling her lips. Marvelous! To witness that power again reminds me of the legendary war of old. Without hesitation, she lunged to strike the sword-armored Dragon King. Lu Fan thought grimly fleeing now would only hand it to Yin Mozi. He grit his teeth. Fine, let's fight. Even if it's a dream, I'll face it. His dragon beasts unleashed everything: holy judgment storm, magma burst, celestial radiance merging with the Dragon Queen's assault into a tempest of power. Strangely, every attack passed through the Dragon King's form without a single mark. Lu Fan froze. Wait, this isn't its real body. The gigantic figure cracked, then shattered into thousands of glowing fragments, fading like mist. The Dragon Queen landed, eyes tinged with regret. Yes, the sword-armored Dragon King is already dead. She explained. What you saw was its final defensive echo. It burned its essence to protect something. Only shards of black metal remained, the last remnants of a fallen king. Lu Fan realized. So after the final battle, it left Dragon Valley perhaps to guard its egg. He lit a torch and entered the dark cavern behind the ruins, finding a black dragon egg and 2 pulsing energy crystals. Carefully, he picked them up, marveling at their strange, unseen-before brilliance. The Dragon Queen approached, explaining, those are Demissaint cores born when a being transcends mortal limits. The sword-armored dragon once fought 2 such foes here. She whispered that it won both battles but was exhausted, leaving this crystal for its unborn child, and using its final breath to create an illusion to fool the enemy. Lu Fame choked up upon learning that the Jianjialong King gave everything for its heir, filled with deep admiration. Yet, the Femalong King sneered coldly, warning him not to judge with pity, for it worshipped pure blood and despised that hybrid egg. Then she turned away, leaving Lu Fam to realize had been used for incubation, while the Jianjialong King, foreseeing Fama's persistence, left 2 cores for the egg to absorb. So, Lu Fame cheerfully gathered his dragon pets, urging Xiao Fei to call everyone to see if the baby dragon was a boy or girl. As he placed his hand on the egg, the dragon's speech spell activated, blue light spreading as the shell began to crack. A black dragon with metallic sheen appeared, gazing blankly at Lu Pam as he joyfully welcomed the newborn. However, the little dragon wasn't friendly at all, its eyes cold and emotionless. It hovered above, ignoring the greetings, angering Abok, Bao Bao, and Gugu, who demanded to know what that attitude meant. Soon after, the hatchling quietly landed beside its mother's remains. Lying still, Lu Fam realized it was mourning the fallen Jianjialong. Not to disturb it, Lu Fam checked its stats, but froze in disbelief at what he saw. The contract listed it as Armor Dragon Yi, level 1, gender unknown, all 4 stats at 3000 with piercing, counter, and full immunity skills. Lu Fam shouted in all level 1 with that power, absolutely beyond any limit. By next morning, the dragon was named Rap Rap and finally joined the team. Then Lu Pam suggested it transform into armor to accompany him in battle. Rap Rap nodded, body melting into a gleaming silver suit of armor, spikes covering Lu Fam completely. Instantly, all his stats rose by 3000. Lu Pam thrilled to realize he now wore Jianjialong's full might. He soared upward shouting, Jianjialong, have you accepted me now? Then, in a solemn tone, he vowed to test its true power. The armor dragon sigh the skill triggered, summoning twin crimson blades sweeping wide, accidentally flinging Xiaofai and Xiaoji into chaos. Next came Armor Dragon Slash, sending echoing counterstrikes through the air. Lu Pam excitedly noted the armor's balance of offense, defense, and perfect counter damage flawless. Finally, he unleashed Divine Breath, sword radiating holy light, each strike restoring his strength. Then he shifted into Shadow Mode, dark aura swirling, damage building up for a devastating finisher. Landing softly, Lu Pam smiled, just a bit more upgrade to Jianjialong, and he'd be ready for the Divine Ruin Secret Realm. At dawn, fully prepared, he chose to travel on foot back to the Western Territory, training and honing his combat skill along the way. At Jiangshan Garden Gate, An Han Ka and Jian Ying saw him off, their eyes full of longing. Han Ka softly asked, "You're leaving again, aren't you?" Her voice heavy with worry. Lu Pam smiled reassuringly, saying he'd leave at dawn but would return soon. Jian Ying watched his fading silhouette, thinking this young man had never stopped before any journey. A month later, Lu Fame had crossed 14 regions, slain countless elite beasts, and upgraded all his dragon pets to new heights. At last, he reached the edge of the Western Domain, where winds cut sharp and spirit energy was thick. Standing atop a cliff, Lu Pam squinted into the distance and sighed, finally seeing the land of Shiyu Mansion after a month. Suddenly, a massive shadow swept across the sky, blotting out the blazing sun. It was the Golden Wing Rock, level 94 mount of every night's dream, with its skill Skyquake strike that sent shockwaves from above. Lu Fam's eyes lit up perfect gift for his senior. He activated Armor Dragon Fusion, turning into a steel-clad warrior and unleashed Armored Scythe. Twin crimson scythes shot out, hooking the rock's legs as it thrashed wildly. He yanked hard, gliding midair and landing cleanly on its back in one fluid motion. The rock screeched madly, but Lu Pam's cold warning froze it: obey or die. Intimidated by the Dragon Master's aura, the Golden Wing rock bowed low, becoming his loyal mount and soaring toward the horizon. While enjoying the flight, Lu Pam suddenly sensed killing intent. A purple energy net shot up from below, ensnaring them both. "Got them! Pull the net!" came jubilant shouts from a group of hunters below. Lu Pam and the rock were yanked down hard, dust exploding and shrouding the area. From the smoke rushed 4 shabby hunters. Their leader laughed, saying if he wasn't some noble brat, killing him wouldn't matter. Lu Pam stepped out, brushed off his coat, eyes icy. So, the Western Domain's intel had been sealed. The axe wielder lunged, but with a flick of Lu Fam's hand, the Divine Bone Armor Dragon struck. A giant bone fist blasted him through a mountain, vanishing in light. The other 3 collapsed in terror, trembling and begging, "Don't kill us, please!" Just then, a familiar female voice called, "Lu Fam!" He looked up to see Dai Wuxian descending with open arms. He rushed to catch her, the two landing in an awkward yet close embrace. Blushing, he stammered, asking why she was here. Dai Wuxian pinched his cheek and teased, "Only a month away and you've turned into a wild forest man." Her gaze shifted to the fallen rock and trembling hunters, flames curling around her hands. "You dare touch Dai Wuxian's property? Bold of you." The hunters dropped to their knees, shaking, pleading it was all a misunderstanding. They were just low-tier folk. Before she could strike, Lu Pam stopped her gently, saying, "Senior, these small fries aren't worth your time." Then he unleashed his Dragon Clan aura, blasting the hunters dozens of meters away. In an icy tone, he declared, "I, Lu Cam, am the one who killed him. If the Jia family wants revenge, come find me directly." Part 100 returned to the Dai Clan Wrath of the Phoenix. Lu Pam and Dai Wuxian returned to Dai Mansion, introducing the new member Little Jia, the cold metallic baby dragon by his side. Seeing it, Dai Wuxian's eyes sparkled as she urged, "Quick, summon the Jia Long King's child! I want to hug it!" Lu Pam chuckled awkwardly, gently advising Senior, "Better give up that risky idea." To demonstrate, he ordered Jia to slice an apple with a mere flick of its invisible claw. The fruit split cleanly in 2. Dai Wuxian's eyes widened in delight, praising that his fearsome pet was truly all-purpose, handy for home, travel, or a quick assassination.